Okay, 5.4, parallel and perpendicular lines. Parallel lines are two lines that run on the same direction, same slope, same everything. Think of like railroad tracks. They have the same slope. M1, the slope of one line, equals the slope of the second line. Perpendicular lines, they meet at right angles. Think of like a T or something, and they have negative reciprocal slopes. M1 equals negative 1 over M2. Now, how we determine if lines are parallel, perpendicular, or neither is by their slopes. So I need to find their slope first. Remember this slope, we could find it by y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. But we don't want to have to, if we're given a linear equation, we don't want to have to find 2 points all the time. So another way that we can find the slope is by putting the equation in the form of y equals mx plus b, where m equals the slope. We'll learn about what b stands for in the next section. So let's get a problem and try to find the slope first. So we need to find the slope so that we can determine if it's parallel, neither, or whatnot. So here we go. We have y equals 5x plus 3. So in this equation here, we already have it in y equals mx plus b form, because we need to have the y on one side, a x term, and then maybe or maybe not a non-variable term. So here m is just 5. It's already solved for us, so that would be our slope. So we could tell that this line right here has a positive slope because this is a positive number, and it has a slope of 5 or 5 over 1. Okay, let's do another problem. I'm going to erase some here. Okay, so this line here, this linear equation, is not solved for y yet. We must solve for y to get it into that slope form. This one here, this is not our slope. It is not y equals 2x. This is 2x minus 3y equals 10. So we have to solve for y first. Must solve for y. So this would be negative 3y equals negative 2x plus 10 divided by negative 3. Y equals 2/3 x minus 10/3. And here is our slope. So m equals 2/3. Okay? So we're getting a hang of this, how to figure out if where our slope is, right? Well, I got one more for you. Okay, so here's one more example where we have, where we're wanting to find the slope of a line. This is just one line. And we have x equals negative 4y. Remember, to find the slope, we need to get y by itself. So I'm going to divide by negative 4. Divide by negative 4. This is negative 1 over 4x equals y. So we have it in the form of y equals mx plus b. The b in this case is 0. We don't need to write that down. I just want you to see that it is 0. Our slope is negative 1/4. We don't have a b. You're not always going to have a b. So our slope is negative 1/4. Now that we know how to find the slope of linear equations, let's go back and determine if two lines are parallel, perpendicular, or neither. So how we determine if two lines are parallel, perpendicular, or neither are by their slopes. So if we are given the example of, I'm going to say, are they parallel or perpendicular or neither? Okay? Are they parallel, perpendicular, or neither? So we have the line y equals 2 over 9x plus 3. And we have the line y equals negative 2/9 x. Okay? So are these two lines parallel, perpendicular, or neither? Now how we determine is all about the slopes. When you're determining if lines are parallel, perpendicular, or neither, it's all about the slopes. So determine the slope of each line first. So this one, what is the slope of this line up here? M1 equals 2/9. This one down here, the slope is M2 equals negative 2/9. Now, what's the reasoning, or how do you determine if they're parallel? They have the same slopes. Are these the exact same slopes? No, this is a positive 2/9, this is a negative 2/9, so it's not parallel. To be perpendicular, they need to be negative reciprocals of each other. Negative reciprocals, to be perpendicular, they need to have, the slopes need to be M1 needs to be negative 1 over m2. Or, for example, if we had 3, then that means that if this is m1, then m2 would need to be negative 1/3, okay? So that's what it means to be negative reciprocals. So these are 2 9ths, 2 9ths. They're not reciprocals. They are opposite signs, but they are not reciprocals. So this one is neither. It's neither parallel nor perpendicular. Okay, let's do another problem. Negative x plus 2y equals negative 2 versus 2x equals 4y plus 3. Okay. So we need to determine if these two lines are parallel, perpendicular, or neither. The first thing we need to do is solve for y. So I have 2y equals x minus 2 divided by 2. Y equals 1/2 x minus 1. My m equals 1/2. Okay, that's that one. So now I'm going to come over here to this one and I'm going to solve for y. 2x minus 3 equals 4y. Divide by 4. 1/2 x minus 3/4 equals y. Where's my slope? It's what's in front of the x once you solve for y. So 1/2. So look at there. This slope matches this slope. So what do you know about the lines? They are parallel lines. It's all about the slopes. If the slopes match, they are parallel. If they're negative reciprocals, they are perpendicular. If they don't meet one of those two qualifications, then they are neither. One more example. Equals 8. Okay. We have two lines here. Why don't you take a second and try to solve for y first. Figure out what the slope is of each line real quick. You can pause it and do that. I'm going to go ahead and start working on this. So, not you, video person. Don't pause it. They are supposed to be pausing it and trying it. Okay. So, welcome back. This here, we do not have it solved for y. We have 3y, so I want to divide by 3. This is 2 plus 4/3 x equals y. My slope is 4/3. Okay. Over here, I need to subtract the 3x, so I have 4y equals negative 3x plus 8. Divide by 4. Y equals negative 3/4 x plus 2. My slope on this side is negative 3/4. Okay. So they're opposite signs, so we know they're not going to be parallel. So they might be perpendicular. This one's 4/3. This one's negative 3/4. They are negative reciprocals, so they are perpendicular lines. Okay? So I can see that here's my slope. There's my slope. When you're taking the test or quiz with me, I need to see all of this work. I do not want just to answer perpendicular or non-perpendicular. That will not get you credit. You need to show me all the work all the time. Okay? All right. See you with the next video.